Hello, basketball people, we have news. Let's go to more news about the Golden State Warriors. I ask you to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as I am a Warriors fan. The Warriors are very likely to trade Jonatahn Kuminga. State Warriors sending. It was a slow start to the offseason for the Golden State Warriors as they failed to make any additions to their roster outside of the 2025 draft until the start of October. Of course, this came due to the offseason saga between the Warriors and Jonatahn Kuminga, who signed a new 2-year, $46.8 million contract with Golden State on September 30th. Watch more. After signing Kuminga to a new deal, the Warriors then signed Al Horford, Seth Curry, Gary Payton II and DeAnthony Melton in free agency to bolster their roster around their star trio of Stephen Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green. With these moves, the Warriors are looking to clinch a top seed in the Western Conference this season as they try to make another run at a championship. Warriors could move Kuminga ahead of trade deadline. While Golden State is expected to be contender in the West this season, one of the main headlines for them entering the new campaign is Kuminga's future with the franchise. The Warriors are expected to explore trades for their young forward once he becomes eligible to be traded on January 15th, and if that is the case, there could be multiple teams that show interest in Kuminga. Among the teams that could show interest in Kuminga this season is the Chicago Bulls, as they have been linked to the young forward over the past few seasons. Mock trade sends Kuminga to Bulls for young duo. In a potential trade, the Warriors could send Kuminga and Tracy Jackson-Davis to the Bulls in exchange for Ayo Dosunmu, Jalen Smith, and draft capital. With the Warriors' high asking price for Kuminga, it is likely that they will want draft capital included in this deal, though the Bulls may be unwilling to meet their offer if that is the case. Either way, this trade could work out well for the Warriors as they would finally move on from Kuminga and add a key young big man in Smith to upgrade their frontcourt, while Dosunmu would upgrade their guard depth. For Dosunmu, he is a reliable scorer and defender who can play multiple positions and would give the Warriors another solid two-way wing either off the bench or in the starting lineup. Last season, the 25-year-old guard averaged 12.3 points, 3.5 rebounds, 4.5 assists and 0.9 steals per game while shooting 49.2% from the field and 32.8% from three. The young guard would give the Warriors a key spark off the bench on both ends of the court and would also provide them with another young player to build around for the future. For Smith, he would provide the Warriors with another much-needed center on their roster who could eventually become their new starting center. Last season, the 25-year-old big man averaged 8.2 points, 5.6 rebounds and 1.0 assists per game while shooting 46.6% from the field and 32.4% from three. By making this trade, the Warriors would add two more key young players to their roster to help them try and make a run at another title this season. NBA Insider throws cold water on potential Warriors-Jazz blockbuster trade. The Golden State Warriors made a splash at the 2024-25 NBA trade deadline by acquiring six-time All-Star Jimmy Butler, and many are wondering what lengths the front office will go to try to get Steph Curry another ring. Of course, a star trio of Curry, Butler, and Draymond Green, along with a few vital supporting cast pieces, could be enough to compete in the stacked Western Conference, but there is a chance the team gets desperate again. Ideally, the Warriors could make a push for Giannis Antetokounmpo this season as trade rumors circulate, but more realistically, another star comes to mind. There has been recent talk about the availability of Utah Jazz star Lauri Markkanen, and of course, the Warriors seem like a team to monitor. However, it may not be that simple for Golden State. Could the Warriors trade for Markkanen? NBA insider Jake Fisher recently took to Bleacher Report's Insider Notebook to talk about a potential Markkanen trade. Fisher said that he does not think the Jazz are actively shopping Markkanen, but will certainly entertain trade offers for him. Fisher brings up the Warriors as a team that showed interest in him last offseason, but believes it would be a complicated move now. The two teams that were right in the mix last offseason were Golden State and Sacramento. Golden State doesn't really seem to have the contracts and the juice to get a deal done in the post-Jimmy Butler era, Fisher said. However, the Warriors could make it work, it might just be too steep of a price for the team to pay. But look, if they're gonna go out and get Lauri Markkanen, I think that's the exact type of upgrade that the Warriors are going to be hopefully trying to turn Jonatahn Kuminga into, Fisher continued. But at that point, I don't know how the Warriors get Lauri Markkanen without putting both Jonatahn Kuminga and Brandon Podziemski in that type of deal. While Markkanen would be an ideal fourth star for the Warriors to have, it seems highly unlikely that they could get a deal done, especially with how stingy the Jazz typically are in trade discussions. The main obstacle is Markkanen's new contract that he signed last offseason, which is worth $195.9 million over the next 4 years. Of course, with that type of money, the Warriors would have a very challenging time figuring out the financials of a potential trade, as would any team that is potentially interested in the All-Star forward. Steve Kerr reveals how Warriors rookies Will Richard and LJ Cryer are faring in practice. The Golden State Warriors have experienced consistent success with second-round draft picks throughout their history. Beyond Draymond Green becoming one of the franchise's most successful players after being selected in the second round, recent history shows a strong pattern. Their current roster features 3 young players in Quinton Post, Gue Santos, and Tracy Jackson-Davis who were all second-round selections. While none project as superstars, last season demonstrated their value as reliable rotational contributors. Steve Kerr impressed by Will Richard's size and shooting despite limited immediate role. This year, the Warriors selected only second-round picks in Alex Tui and Will Richard. Head coach Steve Kerr provided updates on these selections during preseason, expressing particular appreciation for Richard despite not guaranteeing immediate playing time. Tui hasn't practiced yet, Will Richard has, and he's a great young guy, totally engaged, got good size, can shoot it well, and he's just a sponge. He's so coachable. I think he's got a future, Kerr explained. But usually guys in their rookie years, it takes time and so I don't anticipate Will playing anytime soon, and he'll certainly see some time in Santa Cruz to get lots of playing time, but he's impressive. We really like him, Kerr added. Undrafted LJ Cryer emerges as two-way contract candidate. Kerr also highlighted undrafted guard LJ Cryer, who signed an Exhibit 10 contract providing opportunity to compete for a two-way roster spot. We like LJ Cryer, free agent from Houston. I love having guys from winning programs. He's been impressive in camp, Kerr stated. Breaking into the Warriors' veteran-heavy roster presents significant challenges for rookies attempting to earn immediate playing time. The franchise's established system and experienced personnel create high barriers for unproven players. Warriors' history demonstrates their developmental approach, typically sending rookies to the G League's Santa Cruz Warriors for substantial playing time before integrating them into the NBA rotation. This patient strategy has produced consistent results with previous second-round selections. Technically there is, Warriors GM Mike Dunleavy Jr. admits to uncertainty regarding Steve Kerr's future with the team. The Golden State Warriors have made plenty of headlines this offseason over Jonatahn Kuminga's contract situation, but he's hardly the only big name with an uncertain future. Head coach Steve Kerr is entering the final year of his deal and has yet to sign an extension. For some reason, that story has completely flown under the radar. It might come as a surprise to many that Kerr hasn't put pen to paper yet. After all, he's been instrumental in building the Warriors' dynasty. Since 2015, he's led the Dubs to 6 NBA Finals appearances and won 4 of them. Still, the business side of the NBA is never simple. No one's truly untouchable, and the fact that Kerr hasn't guided Steph Curry and company on a deep playoff run in recent years hasn't gone unnoticed by general manager Mike Dunleavy. When Dunleavy was asked about Kerr's future during a recent interview, the former player didn't beat around the bush. He admitted that while Kerr has been a vital pulse of Golden State's history over the last decade, there is a small bit of uncertainty that he returns. I mean, I guess technically there is, said Dunleavy to 95.7 The Game. I wouldn't really classify as that. This isn't like a regular situation with a head coach where he's in the last year of his deal and it's maybe a lame duck situation. There's no cause for panic yet, as far as Warriors fans are concerned. Dunleavy hinted that, at the end of the day, Kerr has earned the right to decide his future himself. We know what it is with Steve. He's been here a long time. He's been an amazing part of this franchise, and as far as I'm concerned, can stay as long as he wants. We are going to give him the grace of the season and to get through it, or to get through some of it. That tracks. Kerr has been around the NBA for a very long time. Maybe he's looking for a role that takes him off the grind of constant travel and keeps him in one place for a change. There's also a chance he could step into an analyst role, given how insightful and articulate he is. Dunleavy also mentioned that Curry will play a part in this too. It's hard to see Steve moving on or to see Steph finishing his career without Steve on the sidelines. I think it'll all work out, but we're not going to jump into anything. We're going to go on Steve's terms. Right now I think he kind of wants to take it and see how the season goes. No problem on our end. For now, it feels like the Warriors are just letting things breathe. Kerr's earned that kind of respect after everything he's done for the franchise. Whether he decides to re-up or move on to a new chapter, it's clear Golden State isn't in any rush to push him out the door. Maybe this season will bring some clarity, but either way, Kerr's legacy in the Bay is already cemented. He doesn't need a new contract to prove that. Warriors head coach on Jonatahn Kuminga's growth, a Space 5 could be something. Ahead of the 2025-26 season, Golden State Warriors forward Jonatahn Kuminga expressed his desire to be an important part of the team's system. Over the past 4 years, Kuminga hasn't reached his true potential. It was one of the reasons why he wanted to move on from the organization during the offseason. However, the player's role as a focal point of a system was the primary focus of the contract dispute between the organization and the player. In the upcoming season, there's an expectation from the group that the 23-year-old forward will be helpful. He's not the finest outside shooter, but in recent years, he's shown a lot of promise, particularly in terms of his athleticism. By adding veteran big man Al Horford, head coach Steve Kerr thinks this will be the year that Kuminga will display notable growth. Horford's ability to share the basketball and stretch the defense will allow the young forward to attack the basket with his energy on the drive. I mean, that's part of the reason that JK hasn't played as much as he has wanted to, because it's been tougher to find, a lot of combinations that click. And, because of the idea that you need shooting in the modern NBA, a Space 5 could be something that really helps him, Kerr said. In the past, the Golden State opened the floor for Kuminga since their big man at that time, Kevin Looney, wasn't a threat outside. Being a non-shooter, Looney's defenders tend to clog up the paint, leaving the Warriors forward with no choice but to camp outside the three-point arc. Fans witnessed the Warriors' appearance with Horford on Sunday. The big man showcased his intelligent passing, defense, and IQ, which helped them secure a 111-103 win over the Los Angeles Lakers in their first preseason game. Former Denver Nuggets head coach Michael Malone loved seeing how Horford fit well with the team. On Sunday's episode of ESPN's NBA Countdown, Malone spoke highly of the 5-time All-Star's reliability from beyond the arc. "They've added a proficient three-point shooting big man," Malone said. "Champion, high character, culture, they haven't had this spacing, 1 through 5, in a long time. The number of wide-open shots that he's going to get is going to spread out their offense and make a really tough offensive team to guard even that much harder."